Viewer, good day. Lord of the Flies is written by William Goulding. This is a very amazing book, Lord of the Flies, written by William Goulding. So the story of this start in the midst of a raging war, a plane evacuating a group of schoolboys from Britain is shot down over a deserted tropical island. Two of the boys, Ralph and Piggy, discover a conch shell on the beach, and Piggy realizes it could be used as a horn to summon the other boys. Once assembled, the boys set about electing a leader and devising a way to be rescued. They choose Ralph as their leader, and Ralph appoints another boy, Jack, to be in charge of the boys who will hunt food for the entire group. Ralph, Jack, and another boy, Simon, set off on an expedition to explore the island. When they returned, Ralph declared that they must light a signal fire to attract the attention of passing ships. The boys succeed in igniting some dead wood by focusing sunlight through the lenses of Piggy's eyeglasses. However, the boy pay more attention to playing than to monitoring the fire, and the flames quickly engulf the forest. A large swath of dead wood burns out of control, and one of the youngest boys in the group disappear, presumably have burned to death. At first, the boys enjoy their life without grown-ups and spend much of their time splashing in the water and playing games. Ralph, however, complains that they should be maintaining the signal fire and building hunts for shelter. The hunter fail in their attempt to catch a wild pig, but their leader Jack becomes increasingly preoccupied with the act of hunting. When a ship passes by on the horizon one day, Ralph and Piggy notices to their horror that the signal fire, which had been the hunter's responsibility to maintain, has burned out. Furious, Ralph accosts Jack, but the hunter has just returned with his first kill, and all the hunters seem gripped with a strange frenzy, reenacting the chase in a kind of wild dance. Piggy criticizes Jack, who hits Piggy across the face. Ralph blows the conch shell and reprimands the boys in a speech intending to restore order. At the meeting, it quickly becomes clear that some of the boys have started to become afraid. The little boys, known as little ones, have been troubled by nightmare from the beginning, and more boys now believe that there is some sort of beast or monster lurking on the island. The older boy tries to convince the other at the meeting to think rationally, asking where such a monster could possibly hide during the daytime. One of the little ones suggests that it hides in the sea, a proposition that terrifies the entire group. Not long after the meeting, some military planes engage in a battle high above the island. The boys asleep below do not notice the flashing lights and explosion in the cloud. A parachute drift to earth on the signal fire mountain. Dead. Sam and Eric, the twins responsible for watching the fire at night, are asleep and do not see the parachute land. When the twins wake up, they see the enormous silhouette of his parachute and hear the strange flapping noises it makes. Thinking the island beast is at hand, they rush back to the camp in terror and report that the beast has attacked them. The boys organize a hunting expedition to search for the monster. Jack and Ralph, who are increasingly at odds, travel up the mountain. They see the silhouette of the parachute from the distance and think that it looks like a huge deformed ape. The group holds a meeting at which Jack and Ralph tell the other of the sighting. Jack says that Ralph is a coward and that he should be removed from office. But the other boys refuse to vote Ralph out of power. Jack angrily runs away down the beach, calling all the hunters to join him. Ralph rallies the remaining boys to rebuild a new signal fire. This time on the beach rather than on the mountain. They obey, but before they have finished the task, most of them have slipped away to join Jack. Jack declared himself the leader of a new tribe of hunters and organized a hunt and a violent ritual slaughter of a sow to solemnize the occasion. The hunter then dissecate the sow and place its head on a sharpened stake in the jungle as an offering to the beast. Later, encountering the bloody fly-covered head, Simon has a terrible vision during which it seemed to him that the head is speaking. The voice, which he imagined as belonging to the Lord of the Flies, says that Simon will never escape him, for he exists within all men. Simon faints. When he wakes up, he goes to the mountain where he sees the dead parachute, understanding then that the beast does not exist externally, but rather within each individual boy. Simon travels to the beach to tell the others what he has seen, but the others are in the midst of a chaotic revelry. Even Ralph and Piggy have joined Jack's feast, and when they see Simon's shadowy figure emerge from the jungle, they fall upon him and kill him with their bare hands and teeth. The following morning, Ralph and Piggy discuss what they have done. Jack's hunters attack them and their few followers and steal Piggy's glasses in the process. Ralph group traveled to Jack's stronghold in an attempt to make Jack see reason, but Jack ordered Sam and Eric tied up and fight with Ralph in the ensuing battle. One day, Roger rolls a boulder down the mountain, killing Piggy and shattering the conch shell. Ralph barely managed to escape a torrent of spears. Ralph hides for the rest of the night, and the following day, while the other hunt him like an animal, Jack as the other boys ignite the forest in order to smoke Ralph out of his hiding place. Ralph stays in the forest where he discovers and destroys the sow's head. But eventually he is forced out onto the beach where he knows the other boys will soon arrive to kill him. Ralph collapses in exhaustion, but when he looks up, he sees a British naval officer standing over him. The officer's ship noticed the fire raging in the jungle. The other boys reach the beach and stop in their track at the sight of the officer. Amazed at the spectacle of this group of bloodthirsty savage children, the officer asks Ralph to explain. Ralph is overwhelmed by the knowledge that he is safe, but thinking about what has happened on the island, he begins to weep. The other boys begin to sob as well. The officer turns his back so that the boys may regain their composure. So the theme of this novel is civilization versus savagery. The central concern of Lord of the Flies is the conflict between competing impulses that exist within all human beings. The instinct to live by rules, act peacefully, follow moral command, and value the good of the group against the instinct to gratify one's immediate desire, act violently to obtain supremacy over others, and enforce one's will. This conflict might be expressed in a number of ways: civilization versus savagery, order versus chaos, reason versus impulse, law versus anarchy, or the broader heading of good versus evil. Through the novel, William Golding associates the instinct of civilization with the good and the instinct of savagery with the evil. Conflict between the two instincts is the driving force of the novel, explored through the dissolution of young English boys' civilized moral discipline behavior as they accustom themselves to a wild, brutal, barbaric life in a jungle. So, Lord of the Flies is an allegorical novel, which means the Golding conveys many of this main idea and themes through symbolic character and object. So, lose of innocence. As the boys on the island progress from well behaved, orderly children longing for rescue to cruel, bloody, thirstworthy hunters who have no desire to return to civilization, they naturally lose their sense of innocence. This is the theme, the struggle to build civilization, man's inherent evil nature. The main character in The Lord of Flies, our young boys, suggests the potential for evil is inherent evil in small children also. The danger of mob mentality, war and future of mankind. These are the themes involved in this novel, The Lord of the Flies by William Golding. So now if we turn out towards these are the theme, the novel Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I hope you will enjoy this novel while you read it. Thank you for patient listening.